about the rat is correct. Rattus nervarigus and Rattus rattus. So, yeah, the first name is the genus name and they belong to the same genus. Okay, the rat can breed together to produce fertile offspring. Why this is incorrect? Because this is about species. Species can. The rest do not share any of the same feature. That is also incorrect. Okay, then we have three different kingdoms. Uh, okay, can you name them? What is the first kingdom, second kingdom, and third kingdom? Okay, focus on second and third. We'll get the first one. Focus on second. Okay. Okay, and what made you think it's a fungus? Uh, okay. There is one property of fungus which is similar to plant but not similar to plant. No, it has a cell wall but made up of. Exactly. So this one is related to. Yes. So this there is no cell wall in third one. Okay, this one is protoctist. Exactly. This one is protoctist. This one is prokaryote, and the first one would be fungus. Okay. Uh, okay, let's move to the next one. The photograph was shown of two different cells. A biologist want to find out the number of chromosome as it contains, sorry, which label part should be examined more closely if you want to see the chromosomes. A, the nucleus. Which term describe each structure? What is brain, what is liver, and what is neuron? Neuron is a cell. Okay. And what makes you think so that it's an organ? And why brain is a tissue? You have said brain is a tissue, right? Okay. Exactly. Brain is an organ. So answer is A. No, it's an organ. Okay. What is the complementary sequence of this? What is a opposite to A? It would be T. Opposite to C would be G. So which one is the correct one? D. So T C T C A T C T A. Okay. Which substance is an enzyme? Pepsin. Yes, yes, yes. It's a general term. Like we use the lipase as a general term for fats, so protease is a general term for the enzymes for proteins. Okay, the state. Okay. Bile, lipase. Basically, bile neutralizes all the content because the pH is slightly alkaline um, in small intestine. Okay. The statement of seventh is which function is performed in the duodenum. Okay, wait. Assimilation, how do you define assimilation? It's a, and recombine them basically happens in liver. Okay. What is digestion? The breakdown. So yes, it happens in the first part where there are different enzymes, the pancreatic juice. So this can be the answer. Egestion is through the last part and ingestion is through mouth. So duodenum, digestion. Okay. And when we talk about the ileum, which is the last part of small intestine, it would be absorption. Okay. Okay, the graph shows the changes in the pH in the esophagus and the duodenum. So esophagus has almost the neutral pH because there is salivary amylase and the saliva is coming. So it is slightly neutral since there is no enzyme in the esophagus. And in stomach it's acidic, and in duodenum it's slightly alkaline. Which substance causes the change in the pH at point X? So just now we have discussed bile. Next one is which row names a small molecule and where the molecule is absorbed in the digestive system. Okay, let's see. Amino acid is okay. Which row names a small molecule and the where the molecule is absorbed in the digestive system. Okay, let's see. So amino acid is not absorbed in the colon. So this one is incorrect. Glucose is also not absorbed in the colon. This one is not the one. Maltose is absorbed in small intestine. Okay, this can be, but let's see. Water is absorbed in both parts, small intestine and colon. So the most appropriate one is water. Okay. The question is, I don't know, I've done something while copying these. Okay, the statement for 10th. The statement for 10th is a student can cut one stalk of celery from the celery plant, and they put the celery stalk into the beaker of blue dye. The celery stalk was removed from the blue dye after 2 hours and was cut into section, and there were blue circles visible. Why the blue circles are visible in the form of like these small dots in a ring? Is the position of xylem vessels. So it's D. Which process moves water from the surface of mesophyll cells into the air spaces? That would be evaporation. No active transport, no circulation, no osmosis, but evaporation. This paper is quite easy. I don't know why the threshold is really low for this paper. It was like 31 or 32. But this was easy. For A. Okay. Next one is this the 12th statement? Okay. The 12th statement is the mass of water lost from the plant was investigated. The leaves of the plant were covered with a type of grease that act as a waterproof barrier. The environmental condition remained the same throughout the experiment, and this is the result of investigation. What is the mean daily rate of water loss through the upper surface of the leaf? Okay, there are 7 days. So you have to calculate it for 1 day, and you have to calculate for it upper surface. 7 exactly. Oh, the environmental conditions were these through the what is the water through the upper surface is the mean daily rate of water loss through the upper surface of leaf. No. What is through the what's the wait um No. It's not 1.71. It's not on the higher side. It's on the lower side. Grease applied only to the upper surface. Okay. Done. So it's like that. The grease is applied only at the upper side, but at the lower, they haven't mentioned it that on the lower side there would be, like, there can be more water loss. So, we just half them, because, okay, wait, we just half them, because half of the molecules, they may evaporate from the upper side, or half may evaporate from the lower side. Okay, there is the upper side of leaf and there would be lower side of leaf. So there would be evaporation from the upper side and the lower side both. Okay, so we have applied the, through the upper surface. Okay, we have applied the what we call it, grease, on the upper side in plant number 2 and plant number 3. 1.24. Okay, so 12 and 8 are, this would be 20. No, 20.7 divided by 7, it would be 2 point something. No, 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 we just have to half it, that I know. So I guess we would half this, like your 8.7 divided by 2 is 1.4, 1.24. Uh-huh. 8.7 divided by 7, 1.24 divided by 2, divided by 2. Okay, then this is not the answer. Okay, let's see. So we have, okay, we have 12 on this day and 8.3 on this day. So, okay, I got it. Okay, so let's see, when the no grease applied, the water evaporated is 12.0, and when the grease applied, is the evaporation is 8.7. Okay, so it means that the total evaporation from the upper surface is the difference between these two. Since this one has grease on it, this one hasn't. This is the one for lower side only, and this is for upper and lower both. So we subtracted, answer would be 3.3 divided by 7 days, 0.47. Okay, this was tricky. What is translocation? Sucrose and amino acids to sync. Okay. Which row names the blood vessel containing the highest blood urea and the blood vessel containing the lowest urea concentration? Hepatic vein. Renal vein, because it's leaving the kidney, and while leaving the kidney, the urea gets absorbed or gets filtered into the nephron or the kidney. So renal vein has the lowest urea, while hepatic vein has the highest, since it's bringing the urea from liver to kidneys. Okay. Where do cholera bacterium causes the secretion of chloride ions? Indeed, the small intestine. Okay. Okay, what does cholera bacteria produce that release the secretion of toxins? Okay, which word describes what happened when breathing in? Contrast. Contract. Correct. A person exercised vigorously for 1 minute and then rested for 1 hour. Which statement about lactic acids are correct? Uh, During exercise, lactic acid is produced in the muscles and diffuses into the blood. Okay, this one is correct. The blood transport lactic acid to the liver. This is also correct. Lactic acid is broken down by anaerobic respiration. No, this is broken down by aerobic. Produced by anaerobic but broken down by aerobic. That's why it's called as oxygen debt, because more oxygen is taken in to break down it. So 1 and 2 only. Next one is the diagram shows an experiment using two wheat shoots, tips X and Y. Wait, wait. There is one. There are many missing. Why this is 21? No, it's 18th and this one is 18th. This one is not here. Let's just erase it. Which letter identifies a synapse? D. That's a junction. Good. A person looks at a distant object in the darkness, okay, and then move to bright area and look at the near object. Which statement describes some of the changes that take place in person eye? Now, this is related to both the pupil size and the lens thickness. Okay, when it comes to brighter area, the pupil will constrict. So it would be A or C. And the lens get, when you have to look at the near object, the lens get thicker. uh, Wait, the ciliary, okay, both A and C are like lens get thicker, pupil constrict, but their circular muscles. Okay, what causes the constriction of pupil and what causes the thickness of lens? Now this is the right question. Okay, circular muscles, because the radial muscles relax. Ciliary muscles and suspensory ligaments. Hmm. Hmm. Relax. No. Relax. Relax. They relax. That's why the pupil get smaller. And the ciliary muscles contract. So see, which effect does adrenaline has on blood glucose concentration and pulse rate? Also increases. Now it has this one statement. The diagram shows experiment using two wheat shoots X and Y. The okay, I guess the statements has been swapped. Okay, a statement is given. Which statement is supported by the evidences provided by the experiment? The X grows in size, but the Y remains same. And you have removed the shoot tip. So tip has to do something with the answer. Exactly. So it means that oxygen is present in the shoot tip. So when the tip is cut, so when it's cut, it means the growth won't be there won't be any growth. Then which action would help to limit the development of antibiotic resistance in bacteria? Limit. Okay. Okay, antibiotics are only for bacterial infections. So C and D are totally incorrect. C and D are totally incorrect. So B is the only correct option. Okay, because we cannot take antibiotic frequently, we have to use it under the prescription and only for bacterial. Okay. What is an example of sexual reproduction? asexual reproduction. Okay, this one is not the answer, this one is not the answer, and this one, this A. All other are sexual one. Okay, the transfer of pollen between the flowers between two plants is shown by an arrow. So what is P and what is Q? It's a type of pollination, and Q is self-pollination. Okay, which arrow shows cross-pollination and which arrows shows the transfer of pollen would produce the most variation in the offspring. So cross-pollination is, okay, cross-pollination is P. Cross-pollination is P, and which it would create most variation. Yes, there is more variation in the cross pollination as compared to the self one. Which substance is a hormone that is involved in the development and regulation of male secondary sexual characteristics? Okay, insulin is for sugar or glucose level. Glucagon is also for glucose level. So testosterone. Lactase is for the breakdown of milk products because they contain lactose. Okay, the diagram shows part of two different plants. Where's the diagram? Wait, I need to go back to my 24. Oh, okay. The statement is not this for 20. Okay, 26 statement is, which statement describe the net direction of movement of substance across the placenta? Okay, you're saying it's what? It's D. Urea moved from fetus blood to the mother's blood for the removal. Yes, urea and carbon dioxide. So first one is incorrect because it's written in the opposite way. So glucose, glycogen, not in question. Okay, the diagram shows the human reproductive system, which label identifies the uterus. C. What is A? B is D. Correct. Okay. Which so A is ovary, B is fallopian tube, C is uterus, and D is the cervix. Which method can transmit HIV? Number one, hugging a person, no. Sharing a needle, yes. Using a plate that a person infected with HIV has used, no. So the only answer is 2. Which chromosomes can be found in a single sperm? X and Y both can be present. X or Y, not and Y. Or Y. Okay, because it's haploid. Okay, what are lymphocytes? The only cell that produce antibody proteins. Why are lymphocytes the only cells that produce antibody protein? Correct. It's about expression. So the genes are expressed only in lymphocytes. Lymphocyte has twice as many genes. Incorrect. Other cells do not have genes. Incorrect. Okay. Next one. What are stem cells? Unspecialized cells. Wait. This is not the statement. This is not the statement. Let me go to the original paper. Okay, the statement is different. This is a statement for the other question. I don't know when did this happen. All the questions got mixed up. Okay. The question is, during protein synthesis, what is the function of ribosomes? It assembles amino acid in a chain. It carries a copy. No, it contains the code. No, it is okay. Correct. A is the answer. The photograph show a speckled chicken with white feathers and black feathers. Now, we have to do the calculation. When a chicken with only white feathers and a chicken with only black feathers are crossed, all of the offsprings are speckled. It means they are heterozygous. What would be expected phenotypic ratio if the speckled uh, chicken was crossed with the chicken with only white feathers? So it would be uh, W, let's say white is W, and it would be speckled is WB. So what would be our ratio? Correct. It would be 50-50. Yeah, correct. Okay. During protein synthesis, what is, oh, okay. Now the 33 statement is, what are stem cells? Divide by mitosis to produce protocells. And okay, correct, D. What are the features of hydrophytes which have leaves that float? Hydrophytes. They have large air spaces for the evaporation of water. They have many stomata on the upper surface, so the water would be more evaporated. Which unit could be used for the measurement needed to construct a pyramid of energy? Okay, this one is different question. Okay, kilojoules per meter square? No, per area per year. Correct. There may be a question because if it's energy, it won't be gram or kilogram. There won't be in question. That is for the biomass. Okay. Exactly. Yes. Kg per, oh sorry, kilojoule per kg per year. Okay. Which process need microorganisms to break down protein to produce ammonium ions? Which process? Okay. Decomposition. Yes. Saprophytic. Saprophytic is the term, okay? Uh, I don't think so because enzyme is the correct word. Oh, you got such an easy question correct. Then you will get half. Okay. The statement for 37th one is, the graph shows a part of growth curve. Okay. What is not shown in the graph? Okay, this one is, let's say, the first phase is known as the lag phase. This one where there is a high increase, exponential or log phase. This one is the stationary phase. So which phase is missing? The death phase. Only this phase is missing. All the other are written. It would be decrease. This one. What is an advantage of large scale monocultures? Okay, this was the question in P2, I guess. Or P, in P4 of IGCSE, they got this question, monoculture. So, what's the answer? Okay, what is the advantage? Increase crop yield, yes, it's an advantage, but on the other side, there would be more susceptibility of disease. Okay. No, it doesn't increase biodiversity because it's a monoculture. So this one is incorrect, this one is incorrect, and variation is not there. Since biodiversity is not there, the variation is not there. Okay, a graph is given, and a student make four statements about the carbon dioxide and methane. So this one is carbon dioxide and this one is methane. So over the years, the methane concentration is almost same, but the carbon dioxide concentration increases. So which statements support the data? Carbon dioxide and methane were the only sources. Carbon dioxide emission. Okay. So we are saying this is true. Carbon dioxide has a higher effect, greater effect on a. Okay, we are ruling out this. Methane emission were lower than carbon dioxide emission. No, uh, then no, this is incorrect. Only one. Yes, only this statement is correct. Okay, it's about percentages. If we talk about the percentages, it's not like it's not same. Okay. The next one is okay. A bacterium is given which structure is cut to form sticky ends during genetic modification. C. Plasmid. Correct. Okay. So this is for one paper. I'm sending you another paper for IGCSE. So you have to attempt that paper. Okay. Okay. Can we take class tomorrow as well? Around this time. Okay. Okay then. Allah Hafiz.